gender identity linked to the season?
Black New World Order.
Grammar that proper syntax is racist.
Been invited to 3 parties tonight.
Jesus is so trans mask coded.
Talk to your children, I will turn them trans.
Trans women will experience what is known as a period.
No, they don't.
My beard and body hair is feminine.
My god is trans hat.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at some new genders, some new pronouns that have dropped because it is very important to stay up to date with all of this so that we don't misgender anyone. That would be truly unforgivable. So get out a pen and pencil, take some notes, make sure you are subscribed and have hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos.
There is a gender identity that is linked to the seasons. This is called gender season. And this is a gender identity I've only just learnt about. It's a micro identity. It's not an identity that I have ever heard discussed before. It's a new one for me.
Pause. Look at the top left corner. What do you see there? Coincidence? I think not. But continue with your gender season.
Season is an individual who explores their gender identity in relation to a season or all the seasons. So this might be somebody whose gender expression and identity is linked to one season. So for example,
you know, this is somebody who obviously loves fantasy. You could take a look at the shirt, Middle Earth. Great. You can write a fantasy book about gender seasons. But here on planet Earth, we humans, your gender does not change with the seasons. Your gender actually can never change. Never. You could get certain surgeries and take hormones and present as the other gender. That's your right. But you can never actually change your gender. I don't think it's a coincidence either that you just heard about this gender.
And this is a gender identity I've only just learnt about.
I'm sure the next step will be, oh, well, actually, historically, everyone has been gender season. There have been many people like that. They just couldn't come out as gender season.
An individual who explores their gender identity in relation to a season or all the seasons. So this might be somebody whose gender expression and identity is linked to one season. So for example, winter. Or this might be somebody whose gender identity and expression changes depending on the season.
I think you can learn to feel unique, right? Special, just the way you are. You don't have to invent new pronouns or genders to validate your awesomeness, your uniqueness. You can find something that actually makes you special, something you're good at. Hopefully something that could benefit society.
This is called
Psychosis.
Here's a reaction to this video.
Say it with me, my love. Psychosis.
See, when even the people within your own community, like the LGBTQ community, I'm assuming this man is gay, I'm assuming the woman was transgender season something. Maybe you should listen. I don't know. I feel like the more people that call out this nonsense, the better.
My love, I suggest you go ahead and you seek some professional help for your psychosis.
And maybe she'll listen to him. I hope she'll listen to someone.
Not to sound like really stupid, but is the Boston Marathon longer than the LA Marathon?
No, all marathons are...
All pronouns are valid.
That's like common sense, I fear.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
All of them? I don't think you should be talking about common sense. It's something you obviously lack. I mean, what can we expect if this is the same person that thinks you could change your gender with the seasons? Oh, this is a little bit of a throwback to the Wonderland system, in case you aren't familiar with this TikTok. And by the way, TikTok looks like is going to be banned. So unfortunately, we might not be getting any more of these sorts of DID systems with their pronouns.
Hi, I'm Oliver.
Hey, everybody on bed.
My name.
I wonder what she's up to. The Wonderlands. Oh, sorry. I wonder what they are up to. We're going to take a look at some flags and signs, okay? So we have this one spotted at the Stand with Ukraine rally in Toronto. The Ukrainian flag onto their progressive pride flag. I think they're going to run out of room eventually. I wonder what's going to happen then because there's only so many stripes you can add. There's a lot going on. It says Black New World Order. It says white side, proud race traitor, Black baby factory. So this man maybe thinks he can get pregnant, put something in his belly, or maybe he's just fat, I don't know. And he has a few dolls too. But this Black New World Order thing is over a trans flag. Okay, so this is a beautiful, strong transgender woman, maybe trans race, maybe she thinks that she is Black, who is pregnant. Congratulations. Yes, I think psychosis is a good word for today's video, right? There's just a lot of that going on.
Psychosis.
This sign, I'm not a boy or a girl. Where do I pee? You can actually check. Like if it's really, really confusing, you can just look down. Focusing on others' sex parts makes you the pervert. Those affirming children's gender identities and saying, yeah, you know what, you like pink? Let's focus on your sex part and chop it off. But it's the people that are against that are the perverts.
This is me, 1 month.
Interesting necklace. We got a doll hand. We've got teeth.
On testosterone. This is me 2 months injecting myself with the T virus. This is me 3 months of committing tax evasion. This is me 4 months of running from the government for treason. This is me 5 months of planting trees.
This is me 6 months of drinking tea.
I mean, if it at least made you happier, you were just like visibly, benefiting from this. It's just kind of sad to see because this person doesn't look happier, right? I mean, I hope that helped, but from what I'm seeing, I don't think so.
I've lost count of how many months I've been doing this.
Drag show for Palestine, hosted by Daddy Satan. Yep. We also got Piss Understood. Non-binary people do not owe you passivity.
They do not. You're entitled to their full personhood, their multitudes, the whole range of human expression. Do not owe you passivity.
Then I don't have to respect your pronouns. I don't owe you that. I don't owe you anything, actually. If you want to be seen as someone who doesn't have a gender, first of all, good luck. Second of all, what's the thought process here? You're not going to put in any work and people are going to have to use whatever pronouns you decide on that day. So actually, most people have more important things to do. Obviously, you don't. But most people do. So they're not going to be doing that. If you're fine with that, great. Fantastic. You can be non-binary. You can do whatever you want. Don't demand people then to respect your pronouns. This person's bio is trans, demi-boy, non-binary, elementary educator, autistic, they, them, and growing with mixed. Like mix instead of Mr. or Mrs.
Speaking as an educator, as well as just a human.
They always refer to themselves as educators. Educator. Okay, educate me. What's up?
To remember things like this is white supremacy. The idea that grammar, that proper syntax, that whatever it is that you think needs to be corrected in a moment of someone expressing or saying something is racist. Attacking another educator who is a woman of color.
It's okay to correct her, especially if she's an educator.
She is the first woman of color to be our president.
Good. Great for her. Everyone makes mistakes, that's fine. So you should correct them. But that's racist. Why is it racist? What are you saying here? I think you're the racist one. As an educator, you should probably prioritize teaching your students proper grammar instead of saying, you know what, Timmy, you're black, so it's okay for you to make mistakes. I won't correct you, because if I were to correct you as an educator, that would be racist. And now Timmy is not going to know that he made a mistake. You see how that could be a bit of a problem and also racist?
I'm not naming names, I'm just saying you as a group need to work on do better.
Do better. It's always the people saying do better that actually need to do better.
Because if that's what you're saying, what is happening behind your closed door in your classroom then?
Oh my goodness. Perhaps they're actually telling people when they've made a mistake and teaching them. And then we look at the test scores in America and we go, what is going on? What is happening? Those are the teachers.
Like, really think, is that how you would talk to a student in your classroom? And if it isn't, why do you think it's okay to talk to an adult that way? Like, let's all sit with that. Never use that harm, that trauma, that hurt to go and attack another human being.
Yeah, I'm sure the people that pointed out the mistake, I'm sure they were traumatized by that. It couldn't be that they noticed the mistake and said, hey, you know what? You, of all people, you should know. Here's the correct way to say that. Racist.
When they are a woman of color. Do better.
We should all do better and listen to this racist educator.
I will tell you what you are not. A burden.
Look at the comments. You are, though. Oh, but you are scary. Mom, pick me up. I'm scared. Yeah, I think people are waking up. At least to Jeffrey Marsh, who is probably the creepiest TikToker I've ever seen. It's giving Dylan Mulvaney a little bit, actually, in this one. Oh, that was so cute, Jeffrey.
You've been thinking of yourself as too sensitive, but you are just the right amount of sensitive. You are exactly the amount of sensitive that the world needs.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We need more people to think that actually being overly sensitive is perfectly fine. That's what Gen Z needs to hear. When people are having meltdowns over being misgendered, we really should be telling them, you're fine. Actually, you should be more sensitive.
Sensitive is a strength. It's a code word for empathy. It is a code word for choosing connection over division. Stay sensitive.
You should have some empathy for the children that you creep out by saying, I want to talk to the kids, and stop making videos like that.
Your parents screwed up. That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy.
Be more sensitive.
Go ahead, buckaroo, because they won't do a damn thing. When I tell them I'm a trans woman, they'll say okay and they'll leave me alone. It's legal in my state as a trans woman to use the bathroom I identify with.
That was scary. That's a man.
Now come at me with another comment, honey bunches of oats.
You should not be going into the women's restroom, sir, because you will make women uncomfortable.
I had a neighbor confront me for using the women's restroom, and it's the only place that I feel safe using the women's bathroom.
We've actually heard this before. Non-binary men, specifically, they go, you know what? I don't feel comfortable using the men's restroom. Too bad. You can't enter the women's spaces looking like this man, okay? And if you're going into the men's restroom and you got a wig on, you're probably making the men in that restroom uncomfortable as well. No one should be attacking you in either restroom, but just because you have that fear in the back of your head, that doesn't give you the right to waltz into the women's restroom. Your comfort is not more important than women's comfort.
Honestly, I just lost it. I just lost it and just started screaming and swearing. I just couldn't handle it.
You know what? I don't want a travel economy anymore. I'm over it. It makes me uncomfortable. So next time I get on a plane, I'm gonna say, I identify with first class. I deserve to feel comfortable. Therefore, you need to put me in first class. It would just make me feel safer. I identify with that seat. Transgender Easter 2024. Jesus is so trans mask coded. I think these people can't think about anything except trans. They wake up, trans, what's my identity today? Let me take a look. Okay, it's starting to look like spring. Guess I'm a demi boy now.
My mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause I.
What are you saying?
Oh, she was caught.
Facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA+ community.
I love the way that kid said that. LGBTQIA+ community.
The LGBTQIA+.
That's pure indoctrination. I feel so bad for these kids.
Just wanted to let you know that I am pushing my gay agenda on everybody. If I get a chance to talk to your children, I will turn them trans, and I'm also promoting obesity. I have a gay, fat, trans day.
They, them, part-time clown. They are a little self-aware. Full-time disappointment. It's never too late. It's never too late to change things around. POV, Satan asks you what brings you to hell.
And it was gay sex. Excellent.
Congrats. You know, I'm sorry, but that's not even like an impressive Satan cosplay that you're doing. You look like, oh, actually, this looks like Daddy Satan from that drag show poster. Maybe that was the inspiration.
I've been invited to 3 parties tonight. I'm all about breaking records and being of service to my community. Party number 1, big success. Going at it with these guys, and then I'll look up and be like, oh my god, I'm in love with 6 of you. And does that work out well for me in the end? Never, not once.
You can also tell he's unhappy with the certain parties he's attending. Like, can't you stick with one guy at least? It's like, oh, this never works out for me. You know, I fall in love with like so many of the guys I'm with. It's just, what are you doing?
And I just left number 2. Not as good as number 1. There was a cover charge for this one too, which I didn't pay because they said I looked under 25. Both were diverse and inclusive groups in terms of like demographic, but not in terms of mindset. Like at the first one, everyone was into everybody and like playing with everybody, and then at the second one, it was kind of like everyone's walking around like scoping.
Right, okay, I'm gonna go. I can't listen to this anymore. We're moving on.
Once a month, trans women will experience what is known as a period.
No, they don't. Let's look up a period. It seems to be a flow of blood and other material from the lining of the uterus, which is something that trans women do not have, okay? Occurring in non-pregnant women. Wow, interesting. The wokeness has not yet reached this definition, at least, at intervals of about 20 days between puberty and menopause, and typically lasting for a few days. She's got her period. Right, so keywords here, all right? Uterus and women.
Some astute viewers might notice that most trans women don't have a uterus.
Most?
But that doesn't change the fact that they are experiencing a period. They're experiencing PMS.
Fun fact, PMS is premenstrual syndrome. Menstrual. Before menstrual. It's a syndrome. That happens before the menstrual cycle. I don't think you know anything about a woman's body. Let's just get a definition, all right? Premenstrual syndrome, a group of symptoms that occur in women typically between ovulation and a period. The cause isn't fully understood, but likely involves changes in hormones during the menstrual cycle. So guess what? A man could have mood swings or food cravings or fatigue, or they could be irritable or depressed. They can't just say, oh yeah, that's PMS. I'm PMSing. No.
Now, people who experience PMS are anyone with a hormone cycle similar to a woman's. This includes trans women, cis women, and intersex people, or their experience post-menstrual dysphoric disorder. Men can actually even experience what is similar to a period because of their hormone cycle. If a man has a high amount of estrogen in their body, they will have irritable male syndrome, I believe is what the name is called.
I think you have that because you are a very irritating man who wants to claim that you get periods, that you get PMS. I'm sorry if you're bloated. I'm sorry if you're having cravings. That's not your PMS acting up. Because you can't get it.
My body doesn't have a uterus in it, but my body still thinks I do. I know conservatives hate this, but it's not pedantic to say I'm on my period. It's not wrong to say that either.
I don't understand this. Why does one have to be conservative to recognize biological fact how women get periods?
Ow! Jump scare.
My beard and body hair is feminine. Hang on a minute. Body hair is not feminine. My body hair to me is just as beautiful as the embroidery you'd see on a dress.
Oh no, we have a very pretentious individual here. He's gonna give us some very artistic, and my body hair is like the leaves.
My name is Quinley Rose. I'm a bearded woman. I began my transition back in 2016 by first changing my name throughout.
I bet this person wants snaps, not claps, so.
The past 7 years, I've explored who I am, what my forms of expression are. I've really had the time to explore who I am.
And with that time, the best you could have come up with is Quinley Rose, the bearded woman? Interesting. Interesting, yeah.
A lot of lesbians, particularly cis lesbians, initiate flirting with other women is kind of through eye contact. As autistic trans women, that doesn't work.
I guess this person thinks they're a lesbian? Okay.
Trans women have their walls up and are ready to brawl because if a woman's staring at us, there's just this innate fear that they've like clocked us and they're gonna say some turf bull and we gotta like start throwing hands.
That toxic masculinity, gotta work on that. Okay.
One of the many ways that colonial mental health, wellness, self-help culture shows up in our society is through the framework of control, power, and domination. And the way that that looks like is using verbiage like, we just need to be able to control our thoughts, our feelings, our mind, our bodies.
Okay, just say you want to stay overweight and mentally ill. You could just say that.
This idea that you need to force yourself into a state of discomfort in order to regulate your emotions.
I cannot believe we're at a point where you're going, I actually have to take some responsibility. Sometimes I'm in control and I have to decide if I want to go on that run. Put the phone down. Maybe 10 hours on TikTok isn't ideal, but that would require some self-control. And that can be difficult, right? And that is why I think these people go, well, it's much easier to say it's toxic to want to improve myself.
Wore my God is trans hat out in public for the first time. And I had so many people literally run up to me and be like, I love your hat so much. Like, where did you get it? And I was like, it's me, you know?
You know, It's okay to have phases.
Explores the gender identity in relation to a season or all the seasons.
Go through different sexualities or genders or pronouns, whatever, because maybe you don't feel special enough. I think that's what it comes down to. That's where it's coming from.
I decided to go through my bisexual phase. So I'm gay at the moment.
A lot of us have gone through those phases. A lot of us have identified as many different things, especially as teens. I totally get that. Or maybe you're seeing other people around you doing that and you think, oh yeah, just woke up. Guess I'm a demi-boy, demi-girl, asexual, pansexual penguin. And then get applause for that.
How to use lemon's pronouns in sentences. And these are fruit-themed pronouns.
Okay, don't demand other people respect your pronouns though, especially when your pronouns make 0 sense. And then I would recommend stop posting every little mental breakdown, every little change of identity, especially when they're this ridiculous. And that's all for today's video, guys. Please comment below what you thought about these videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms that's in the description, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.